Kay Woodcock here, joining me, the grandmother of J.J. Vallow, but also the sister of Charles Vallow. We've explained this many times, the family relationships to the public, but the reason why I want to address you importantly as Charles's sister is because now we're here in Arizona, and now Lori Vallow is facing the charges here in Arizona in Maricopa County in relation to the murder of your brother, conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. You have been waiting for this for such a long time, and to see her arraigned today and start the process formally, what was that like for you?
We had a meeting this morning we couldn't get out of, so as soon as I could break away, I got in on you sent me the link for it actually, and so I was able to watch it, and it was non-eventful. So not that I expected much, but still, it's good that she's in Arizona. I feel now like we're gaining some traction with her being in Arizona for Charles and Brandon's cases, and it's time that those Charles and Brandon receive so they can see some justice here, and we'll go. Larry and I will be doing just like we did for JJ and Tylee in Idaho. We're gonna be there every step of the day, every step of the way. Although we couldn't be there today, but we will do our best to attend any hearings that we can.
Yeah, I know it was 5 minutes, 10 minutes, maybe maximum, but to see her in the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office orange jumpsuit and to see her in an Arizona courtroom, it has to be a relief for you that this is finally starting, and it could take a lot of time based on the prosecution asking for like a 270-day extension because it's considered a complex case, being that there's first-degree murder. And we may not see this trial happen for a while, but you're used to waiting.
Hey, what's another year? What's another year? It just. We just have learned to accept what happens, and no need to get upset or mad about it, or it won't do us any good. It'll just drain us. So it'll happen when it happens, and we'll be there when it does, and we'll do what we need to do to participate, and whatever we need to do, we'll keep it alive if we need. We just want to keep everyone aware of what's going on, and that she's just a horrific person, and she's a murderer, plain and simple.
Is she objected to that extension? Do you think it's because she doesn't want to be here?
I don't know. The audio wasn't that clear. So you saying about that extension, I don't even know that I heard that. So a 270-day extension, what is that? Is that 9 months?
Yeah, so it'd be less than a year, but because this is considered a complex case, usually it takes some time for it to go to trial with these murder cases, especially first degree. But she objected to that, but now the state will motion for that extension. So there's still yet to be seen what happens with that. But yeah, usually in complex cases, they take a while, and she, according to her objection, it seems would not want to wait that long and be here at Estranged jail. So I just wanted to know what were your thoughts about that between the Department of Corrections in Idaho and a Maricopa County jail here in Phoenix. Just what your thoughts are on how she's doing.
I am real pleased that she's in Arizona. I heard through a source that she did not want to be in Arizona. She doesn't want to be there. So I am very happy that she's there, because anything she doesn't want to do, I want her to do. So that's just, anything that will exacerbate, that will aggravate, agitate, cause her anguish, that's what I want. Because we have lived through all of the anguish caused by her actions. So she's got no control now. So she needs to know how it feels to be on the other side of that.
Let's talk about Charles, your brother. He really laid out the beginning of this case, trying to give warning signs. At the time, it didn't seem like everyone was listening when he, wrote in divorce filings that she thought she was a goddess preparing for the second coming of Christ, and threatened to hurt him, and things like that. But at the same time, he cared for her and wanted her to come around and wanted her to get help. He literally says, "I want her to get help."
Yeah.
Now to be able to try and get justice for him on your side, that's got to feel like, this can be complete, the whole journey, not just in Idaho, but here in Arizona, because he started this off.
It started in Arizona. It needs to end in Arizona. And I'm good with that. And like we said all along, Charles would have absolutely wanted the kids and Tammy first. So I just know how he was, and I know he was sure us that in that way, ladies and children first. So now it's his turn. Now it's Brandon's turn. Now it's time. Let's let her face for the rest of her. Let her face the consequences for the rest of her poor choices.
Yeah, Brandon was almost shot. He was inches away from being shot in his Tesla pulling in. How have you kept in touch with him? And now that the ball's rolling here, how is that for you guys to say, okay, the next chapter begins?
Yeah, we've kept in touch. Brandon and his beautiful wife Jen and kids are in our family. They're our family now, and we're in his family, and we're united, and we will maintain that. We cheer for each other. We comfort each other. We just discuss and fuss things. We fuss and discuss whatever. It's nice to have someone there who you can talk to who really gets it, and Brandon really gets it.
We've talked about this in the Idaho trial where several detectives from Arizona were called to testify. Chandler, Gilbert, basically providing the context and the motives as far as what happened in Arizona, even audio evidence and things like that. Do you think that may give a sample of a trial here? I mean, there's a lot of evidence, text messages and such that was brought by Chandler police in this case.
Yeah, all that 404B evidence in Idaho was a lot. And so, yeah, we're going to see all that again and then some, I'm sure, for everything that just only pertains to Charles's murder or Brandon's attempted murder. So, absolutely. And I know there's a lot of stuff I don't know. All those FOIA dumps and stuff that because you petition the court for all that stuff. I never got that far into that stuff because I just couldn't go there. I just couldn't go there. And so now I can start piecing things together and becoming more aware of exactly what went on, because for a while I just really had to turn my head to it because I just was overloaded with everything going on in Idaho. So I just deal with what I have to today. And then, so now tomorrow has come for Arizona. And so now we'll also be dealing with what I learned in Arizona. And I'm sure I'll be learning some bad things because Lori didn't do anything good.
It is a deep dive with all of those documents and files and exhibits just for Arizona alone. But sometimes the text messages, as you've heard read in court, a little vague and religious, and there's nothing that straight up says, hey, I need you to shoot this person. I need you to kill this person. Do you think that there will be enough to prove guilt in a trial? Obviously enough probable cause for charges, but trying to convince a jury to go there, that's another thing.
Absolutely. I mean, they wouldn't have gotten any indictments if they didn't have a good solid case. the only thing I wish is that they had additional evidence, and maybe they'll learn something new. I'm not sure how all that works yet, but maybe they'll have some evidence uncovered, or maybe, I'll learn something that maybe it'll implicate Chad even further, because they just don't have enough to indict him. So, he's not out of the woods yet as far as Charles's murder goes. He is not out of the woods yet.
Do you wish that he would have been prosecuted as well?
Okay, what was that again?
Do you wish that Chad would have been indicted as well and prosecuted along with Lori in these two Arizona cases? Yeah.
Absolutely. Would I want him joined? I don't know about that, but absolutely. I know he was part of it, and I know he and Lori and Alex conspired. I know they did, but I don't know what evidence they have for that. So I just know that they just didn't have enough to indict him. So I just pray that that they uncover more, or they may already know more. I don't know. So I really haven't met too much with the prosecution team there, but we have met Trina Kay, and we feel very confident that she will do a wonderful job, and she will yield wonderful results, which will be a guilty for murdering Charles and guilty for attempting to murder Brandon.
We know obviously she was serving consecutive life sentences in an Idaho prison. So there are some people on the outside who may say, why waste the tax money and bring her here and extradite here for these two charges? There is that opposition or that question, but until you are the loved one, family member of a victim, what does that mean to you? I mean, what is $15,000 in cost to bring her here when she's already serving a life sentence? You said something on X, or formerly Twitter, about justice and the cost.
Yeah, justice. Oh wait, what was it? Justice is expensive, but it's invaluable. It's invaluable. Is that what I said? Invaluable or immeasurable?
I'll have to check back for that. But I think the point you're making is that it's priceless.
Yeah, it's priceless. Justice is priceless, because you can't put a dollar price tag on that. You can't. And it's worth every penny for the $15,000 they spent to go up there and get her. And honestly, you put 4 officers on the payroll for what, 24 hours or 30 hours, whatever it was that they drove up there. Then they had to drive back, and it was like, what, 15 hours, something like that. So you're talking a day and a half, let's call it, of time and overtime and double time. And I get it, but it is what it is, and it's justice. And that's why we pay taxes. And Lord knows we pay plenty of taxes. So that's where the tax dollars go. That's part of where the tax dollars go. So he's due some justice, and so is Brandon.
All right, Kay, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.